Shalom. This is Yochanan ben Yahweh, and I'm here again to speak about the Garden of Eden. First of all, I would like to testify that Yahweh is God, the true and living black God. And the Bible in which we follow is a book that has been translated from our original Hebrew and Aramaic language. And the white nations of the world have taken this book and used the knowledge against us. It is time that we understand and know the truth of the book. Whether you believe as I believe or not, we're the same people. We're catching the same hell. I'm only here to give you the understanding that I know it to be. Let's start with the beginning of the book, go into Genesis. I don't have much time, so I will make it as quick as possible. In Genesis, they tell you the story about there's some apple and some snake and so forth. Okay, well, the truth of the matter is that God put man, the original man, here on earth to control and to rule the earth. But also understand that there was a devil also here, because the devil was cast out of heaven. A devil and a third of the angels was already here on earth when God created the man that he wanted to rule over the earth. For you who don't know, that first and original devil was black. The devil of this world is white. Whether you believe as I believe or not, do your research and you will find it to be true. Okay, in Genesis, Garden of Eden, the woman and the man, Adam and Eve, was in the garden, and all of a sudden there was this serpent, as they say, that came and was conversating with the woman, asking the woman about the fruits of the garden. Yea, have God said that we shall not eat of every tree of the garden? The woman said, we can eat of every tree of the garden. But the tree that is in the midst of the garden, we shouldn't eat of it, neither should we touch it unless we die. Well, what tree is this? They say an apple. Is it an apple? Of course not, because we can eat apples. Doctors even tell you an apple a day keep the doctor away. You know that story, right? We can eat apples, orange, bananas, all fruits. So this is an allegory, a symbolic story. Notice that the serpent is talking to the woman, not the man. Adam isn't there at the time. He's out in the garden doing his work. And the serpent came and says, what's up, baby? Well, what about the tree in the midst of the garden? When you analyze the word garden, your body also is a garden. You get your seeds from your garden. You get your fruits from your garden. Your children are your fruits that come from the garden of your body, the tree of your body. The human body is also like a tree. A tree have limbs. We have limbs, arm, legs, so forth. That's a medical term that lets you know that this story is not a literate story, literally taken as some physical tree. You understand? Like this tree. See these trees? Not these type of trees. Okay, so the serpent said to the woman, have God said that we can't eat of the tree in the middle of the garden? The woman said, God said, we can't eat of it, neither should we touch it unless we die. The serpent says, you won't really die. So what the serpent is doing is calling God a lie. First of all, if the serpent is talking, it's not a snake. It's like a woman. You ever been called a dog, my friend or my brother? We use that terminology sometimes. When you are out of character, when you are doing something backwards and wrong, sneaky and dirty and grimy, your woman might call you a dog. Don't mean that you bark. This doesn't mean that you get on your knees and crawl around barking. It means that your character is out of order. So this snake that was in the middle, that was in the garden, in the midst of the garden, was slimy, sneaky, and poison. A snake is poison. So he seduced the woman. In the middle of your garden, from the top of your head to the bottom of your feet, in the midst of your garden, your body, you find your sex organs. Anyway, I'm on a time schedule here, so I will shoot this as fast as possible. So the serpent, seduced the woman. Started through conversation, and it happens today. A brother or a man see a woman, yo, well, that's what they call it, rapping. What's up, baby? What's your name? Whether she's married or not, he's trying to get between her garden. Anyway, so the serpent seduced the woman and didn't know that that fruit that she took thereof and also gave to her husband. In other words, she learned what sex was about. She learned what her organs down in the middle of her garden, middle of her body was about. And she went on and gave to her husband. So he learned what it was about. Realize this. Notice when God came back to check on them, they took fig leaves and they covered themselves. They didn't take the fig leaves and put them over their face. They covered their midsections. Why would they cover the midsections? They covered the midsection because that is the part in which they used. They didn't want God to see that they had used it already. But God knew, Yahweh knew. So he said, what is this that thou hast done? She says, the snake beguiled me. The snake tricked me. The man tricked me, in other words. Now, you know it takes 9 months for a woman to have a baby. So, like mama baby, dad is maybe. So Adam continued to have sex with this woman. And a child was born. The first child was Cain. The second child was Abel. Now, the first child had a problem. Because when the two children came to bring their offerings unto God, God, who knows all things, would not accept Cain's offering. Why not? The reason he wouldn't accept Cain's offering was because he knew that Cain was not of Adam's seed. See, God put man and woman there to serve him. And the devil knew this because he was kicked out of heaven from trying to take over in heaven. So he said, okay, I'm going to get back in heaven by putting my seed into this woman. Slide my way back in. The devil is doing the same thing today. He's using what is called integration. The white man is trying to lay down with the black woman, to plant a seed into the black woman. They put the black man in jail. They're murdering the black man. At the same time, they're trying to lay with the black man's woman, trying to get his seed back in, because he know the holy people. We are the holy people. We are the righteous people, and he's trying to get his way back in the kingdom, that new world order, that new kingdom that will be set up. See, there's two new world orders. There's a new world order that is wicked, and there's a new world order that is going to be righteous. The battle of good and evil, the spiritual battle and the physical battle is here now. It's taking place this very moment. Okay, so the two children was born, and they gave them an offering unto God, unto Yahweh, and Yahweh did not accept Cain's offering. Something would be wrong with God if he didn't accept that child's offering. Nowhere in the book had either of the children did any wrong. Think about it. So why didn't God accept Cain's offering? He didn't accept his offering because God knows what we don't know, or what the man don't know. The woman is pulling tricks, can pull tricks over the man. What they call it now, DNA. If you don't take a DNA test, you don't know if it's your baby or not. And that's recently. They came out with this protocol called DNA recently. But if you live in a righteous life, so you don't need no DNA. That's only in this devilish world must we take a DNA test to make sure that the baby's yours, because you can't trust what's happening. Anyway, so Cain got upset when God didn't accept his offering. So God says, look, if you do good, I will accept your offering. So God put him through the test and left him. Told him to rule over Abel. Watch over Abel then. I'm going to see how you treat your brother. God came back. Where was Abel? He murdered Abel. So he is not a righteous seed. God knew it from the beginning. Well, whose seed is he? Huh? Go to I John 3:12. I John 3:12 says, be not like Cain, who is of the wicked one. Cain is of the wicked one. Cain came from the wicked one. Who's the wicked one? See, in the garden, when the woman says, if we touch the tree, we would die, the devil say, you won't truly die. So he's a liar. The devil is a liar. God said it would die. So they did die. He calls a murder to happen, to exist. He calls us, the people of God, to die spiritually and mentally. We lost our spiritual grace, per se. And then when his son was born, he committed the first physical the first physical death. Just like his daddy, like father, like son. One calls us to die spiritually, the other one is murdering us physically. They're murdering us physically today. They cause us to lose our mental and spiritual grace here in America by killing off our minds for over 400 years. Okay? Then you go to John chapter 8, verse 44. Some people is claiming to be God's children. And it says, Jesus told them, you are claiming to be Abraham's seed, meaning through Adam, Abraham, the righteous seed. He says, no, you're not. You are of your father, the devil. John 8:44. You are of your father, the devil, and the lust of your father you would do. Because he was a murderer from the beginning. Where is the beginning? In Genesis. How was the father a murderer? The snake calls us to die spiritually and mentally. John 3:12. Don't be like the son, Cain, who was from the father of the devil, the wicked one. Okay? Get your book, King James Bible or Gideon's Bible. Don't use any New Translation Bibles because you will never see this truth in there in this manner. Definitely won't see in the blackness. They took all the blackness out. Okay? Psalms of Solomon 1:5 tells you that King Solomon was black. Jeremiah 14:2 tells you that Judah was black. Jeremiah 8:21 tells you that Jeremiah was black. Revelation 1:13 through 15 lets you know that the Son of God was black or God is black. Daniel 7:9 lets you know that God is black with hair like the pure wool. One older than times. I said God, that's what I said, that God is black. Who else is older than time but God himself? Says one that is ancient, more ancient than the days and time, took a seat. And he had a head, meaning he was a man, older than time. And his hair was like the pure wool. In Revelation, it described his feet and his skin as being like brass that's been burned. That's my complexion. Brass is brown naturally, and if you burn it, it has to be black. Praise Yahweh. So there's no story about Adam and Eve eating no apple. Okay, this is part one. Hopefully I get back to you on the second part. Unfortunately, I can't make these videos long because YouTube will not accept them. So until next time, peace and love, and continue to study. We are the true Hebrew Israelites. We are also the gods of the earth. Psalms 82:6 said that we are gods. We're not Negroes, colors, blacks, Afro-Americans, or niggers. And it's time that we take our rightful position in life. The black woman, as long as she continue to follow the ways of the white man, she is considered that Eve in the garden, still doing wickedness, still want to integrate, still want to lay down with him, still blind to the truth, still wants to be white. Okay? Wake up, sisters. The brothers, you got to become that new Adam. Stop being Jacob and wrestling with God and become Israel, the righteous one. Same thing go for you. We have to change our ways. Praise Yahweh. Until next time, peace and blessings.